how can I arrange these to be like aesthetically pleasing on camera? You know, I feel like a lot of you have that like aesthetic gene. I don't have it. I don't know how to make things like look good. Well, hello, and thank you for clicking on another video. Sorry, I just shook the camera. I will try not to do that anymore. Today is one of those videos where you're not gonna see my face. I am behind the camera. But what we are going to be doing is building my own little 9-pan palette. So I have this empty magnetic palette right here. I did this about 2 months ago, and I had a lot of fun. I had like a bunch of shades that to me just screamed like it's end of summer going into fall kind of vibes, and I was really happy because I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this problem. We depot our single eyeshadows into these Z palettes and then they just don't get used. Like they're just in the black abyss of like, we just ignore them. So I really think by doing this, maybe not every month, maybe every 2 months, I haven't yet figured that part out, but I do think that by building like a little 9 or 12 pan palette, that will make me reach for these shades much more. And even if I only reach for them 1 or 2 times throughout like the month, I still consider that a success because that's way more times that they have been touched than they were just sitting in these little palettes. So I'm also going to, in the description box, leave Laura's channel because she has been doing this, I think for about 3 months now, and she does it every month. I will leave her last like build her own little palette down there for you guys. I'm also going to leave in the description box her video where she organizes all of her singles, because that is what inspired me to organize mine in this kind of gradient color scheme. It's such a satisfying video just to like kick back and relax to, so I highly recommend checking that one out. And yeah, I think that is the only things that I wanted to mention. Just little tangent, because you know this channel is full of tangents. I had the Adept Cosmetics, like that big palette with like the plexiglass divider, and I was just finding that it held all of my single shadows and I really liked the way they looked in there. But when I would open it, it like never failed that a shadow would be like cracked or, you know, just completely shattered. Like I lost probably, I think 4 or 5 single eyeshadows from that, like having them in that Adept palette. So if you have one of those really extra large magnetic palettes that you love and it's sturdy, you don't have those issues, I would love to know what that palette is down below, because I don't like having the singles in 3 separate Z palettes. I do want them in just one big massive palette. So okay, without any further rambling though, let's just get on into this. So I already know that from this palette here, there is an orange shade in here called Candy Corn, and it is from that Etsy brand Dandelions. How perfect. We're coming up on Halloween. I need to pull this shade out. It is just screaming at me to be pulled out, to be loved. So I want to put this shade down first in the palette and kind of build everything else like around it. So it is just such a pretty orange shade, and it kind of has like a little bit of like a gold flip to it. I don't know, I'm just super into it. So I'm gonna pop that in the magnetic palette. You know what I need to do first though? Give me 2 seconds to like reorganize my life so that you could actually see everything a little bit better. All right, so I think that's a pretty good angle. I'm probably not gonna talk through this whole thing. I'm gonna swatch some things, put some music on. You can just sit back and relax. Let me know if you like this kind of format, but at the end I'll come back and do swatches of like the 9 shades that actually like made it into here, okay? Okay. the more I look at it, the more I'm like, yeah, I think this is good. I think this pulls in a lot of what I really like in the fall. We've got that orange shade, like I said, candy corn, but I also wanted to play with these two Dandelion shimmers. This is Dryad and Dahlia. And then it just has some of those like burgundy, but kind of like mustard yellows. We had to have, you know, an olivey green, even though I said I was getting kind of tired of greens. I just can't help myself. So I really like the way that this turned out. It might not look as a whole like a super cohesive 9-pan, but I do feel like there's a lot of good trios in here if you look at it the right way. Like, you know, so I'm going to swatch everything out for you guys, and yeah, we will do a final look. So here is our final little look with the palette. I think you can see everything in frame pretty well there. The only shade that I'm like underwhelmed with is, I think this is Koi from ColourPop. No, this is Paper Tiger from ColourPop. I think you saw me kind of struggle a little bit with the swatch. I had to go over it multiple times to really get anything to show up. This is an older shade in my collection, so I don't know if maybe that's what's going on with it. I'm not going to declutter it. I'm going to keep it and see how it performs on the eyes, because, you know, a swatch isn't everything. A swatch is just like a good base, like a good rule of thumb. Actually, how it performs on your eyes is what matters. So one final look at our little fall build your own palette centered around the candy corn shade. Again, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think swatched out, it's really pretty. And like I said, as a whole, all 9 shades, maybe not so super cohesive, but I think that there's a lot of good like trios and quads within there and some duos. So very excited. Let me guys know down below if you liked this and want to see more videos like this. And I just hope you're having a good day, a good night, or a good weekend or whatever. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.